Hello students, this is Neeta Biju. Welcome again to another class of business studies. In our previous class, we studied about the nature, the concept of principles of management. Today we are going to study about the significance of principles of management, the importance or the need or the relevance of principles of management. Why do we need it and why is it so important? So it can be discussed under the following points. That is the first one, providing managers with useful insights into reality. The second one, optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. The third one, scientific decisions. The fourth one, meeting changing environment requirements. The fifth one, fulfilling social responsibility. And the sixth one is management training, education and research. So these are the points of significance of principles of management. We'll be studying this one by one. The first one is providing managers with useful insights into reality. So management principles act as guidelines for the managers. These principles improve knowledge, ability and understanding of managers under various managerial situations. The efforts of these principles help the managers to learn from their mistakes. These principles guide the managers to take the right decision at the right time. So all of you know already the principles of management will act as guidelines to the management, and therefore we have already studied the principles of management as general guidelines. These principles will help the managers to improve their ability, knowledge, understanding and to act more effectively, in the sense to act more maturely in a given situation. How to act in a given situation, it tells us. That is principles of management. It helps the managers to learn from their past mistake. So whatever mistake is committed in the past will not be repeated in future. So this is what principles of management will help the managers to learn from their mistakes, not to repeat the mistakes in future. It helps the managers being able to see and understand something very clearly in the real world situation. So when we are talking about insights, providing managers with useful insights into reality means, insights means in common words it's called as intuition or imagination or the sixth sense. Managers can foresee the things in advance, foresee the things what may happen or what may not happen in future and act accordingly in the real given situation, and that is the meaning of providing managers with useful insight into reality. So basically the principles of management will help the managers to foresee the things, to see the things well in advance and to act accordingly in the real given situation. The next significance of principles of management is the optimum utilization of resources and effective administration. So here the management principles insist on planned activities and systematic organization of men and materials in the organization. Principles are designed to get maximum benefits from the human efforts and other resources. So optimum utilization of resources is nothing but the right manner to utilize the resources without any wastages. That is what is optimum utilization of resources. Therefore, principles of management will help the managers to use the resources without any wastages in a right manner. It helps the managers to perform the activities in a very planned and systematic way, in such a way that the work is done very effectively and efficiently in a given period of time with the given resources. How to get the work done is what the principles will teach the managers, not only for non-human resources but also for human resources with less wastages. How to get maximum out of it economically is what is nothing but optimum utilization of resources. So when we are talking about effective administration is necessary so that managers power is used with discretion. So administration is a function of top level management. Major plans and policies are formulated in the top level management. So therefore it should be free from bias, considering not the personal interest of the managers but the organizational objectives. So basically the principles of management will help in proper utilization of resources without any wastages, plus to it also helps the managers to take the right decision at the right time, seeing the objectives of the organization. Our next significance of principles of management is scientific decision. So managers have to take a number of decisions every day. The management principles enable the managers to approach various problems systematically and scientifically. So when we are talking about scientific decisions, it's based on facts, it's based on logic, it's based on cause and effect relationship. So there is decision making on daily basis for a manager. Every time, at every situation, every day, manager has to take certain decision. So principles of management will help the managers to take the right decision at the right time in a given situation in a very systematic way, scientifically, that is based on facts, keeping in mind all the factors, and these facts will be based on logic and not on blind faith. So decisions are taken at the right time, and it should be realistic, it should be based on solid grounds, and that is what is the meaning of scientific decisions. So principles of management will help the managers to take decisions on logic and facts. Our next significance of principles of management is meeting the changing environment requirements. So here every businessman has to make changes in the organization according to the changes taking place in the business environment. Management principles train the managers in implementing the changes in right direction and at right level in the organization. Although management principles are relative and general guidelines, yet by modifying these principles, changes can be made in the organization. So when we're talking about the changing environment, every organization works in an environment and it is surrounded by so many factors in and around, and these changes are inevitable. So in every situation, in every business, what happens is the changes has to be adjusted and adapted by every organization by making some modifications in the policies and plans according to the changing environment. So management principles will train the managers when to implement, how to implement, at what level to implement, and what decision to be taken at what time in a given situation according to the changes that are taking place in the environment. So it gives, of course, general guidelines, but certain changes and modifications can be made according to the changing environment. If changes are not adapted or if changes are not acceptable, then the organization will become outdated, and therefore these principles of management will help the organization and the managers to meet the changing environmental requirements. Our next significance of principles of management is fulfilling social responsibilities. We have already studied in the first chapter about the objectives of management. There we have studied about the social objectives of management. So a business is a creation of society and makes use of the resources of the society. So it must do something for the society also by performing some social responsibility. So management principles not only act as guidelines for achieving organization objectives, but these principles also guide the managers to perform social responsibilities. So when we are talking about social responsibilities, if a manager implements the principles of management in a right manner and involve these principles in policy making and plans, in such a scenario, the obligation towards a society is also fulfilled for sure in a right manner. So the organization is a part of society, as all of you know, and the raw materials or the inputs are taken from the society, and the output or the finished product is sold back to the society. So business is always dependent on the society. Therefore, business has certain social responsibilities to be fulfilled towards the society. So management principles will help the organization and the managers to achieve and to fulfill all the social obligations towards the society. So these principles are developed not only to achieve the organizational goals but also to fulfill certain obligations towards the society. Our next and final point of significance of principles of management is management training, education and research. The management principles stress on scientific judgments and logical thinking As a result of these, principles act as base of doing research and development in management studies. As these principles provide organized body of knowledge to perform research work and generate more and more knowledge, they have provided new ideas, imagination and base for research and development. So the last point here of the significance of principles of management principles are implemented and applied in every type of organization. It is also applied and implemented even in different types of institutions, and it plays a very important role in every type of institutions. Institutions are where the lessons of management are taught, and therefore management principles will help in scientific judgments, that is based on facts, and it should be based on certain solid grounds and some logic. So management principles have also become the base for research for a number of professors. They have taken this topic as a research topic and have done research on these, that is principles of management. Principles theories, management theories are also based on these principles. Moreover, professional courses such as Master of Business Administration and Bachelor of Business Administration also teaches these principles as a part of their curriculum. So you can see here basically management principles are present everywhere, not only in business organizations but also in training, education and research centers and institutions. So it plays a very important role everywhere, and that is why it is called as the significance or the relevance or importance of principles of management. So this is all for today's class, dear students. Thank you.